Yes, there's a lighting change. Let me know what you think. So lots of people out there have always made fun of Macs because they can't game. That's why people don't buy Macs. They're just terrible gaming computers. Well, I'm here to tell you why you're wrong, because there's no computer on earth that can run games as well as this MacBook, especially this game. This was a joke, by the way. That was sarcasm. Yes, everyone on earth knows that Macs don't game. You do not buy a MacBook for gaming. In fact, if you're watching this video, I encourage you to leave and watch my other video on why MacBooks are not built for gaming. It's a completely different market. However, that does not make them bad computers. But today, lots of people were asking if I could do a separate video for games that I can play on my Mac. Here's the thing, I'll be honest with you. I don't play a lot of video games. I'm an Apple sheep, right? Not like the door is very open for me. But it's not even just that. It's just I have a very busy lifestyle. I'm always making videos. I'm working at the Mandarin Ranch. There's a lot of things going on, and games take up a lot of time. Not watching a lot of movies either. However, lots of people out there do game on their Macs, so I figured I should at least show you what I have in my Steam library so that on the occasional occurrence that I do play a game, here's some of the ones that work pretty well. Number one, the most recent one is Mad Max. First of all, it's a great film, and this doesn't really have much to do with the film, but it's a really cool game because it's open world. The reason I really like games like this is because they're single player, and my internet at my house is absolutely terrible, which means multiplayer games are a lot harder for me to get into because the Wi-Fi goes down routinely and my ping is through the roof, so it's not as fun to play. But Mad Max I can play anywhere. You can play that at Starbucks, on the go, and home, and it's this really brutal game where you get to like shoot ropes at people and drag them around, and I personally think it's a very beautiful game in terms of graphics. I'm sure there's the people out there saying, no, it's so basic, but the Mac runs it fine. It's running at 2K at about 60 frames a second. It can go a little bit lower than that, of course. Macs aren't gaming PCs, we know this, but that's a game I really recommend. It was on sale for me for about $6. I really enjoy it. It just works well with that ecosystem. You don't even have to put Windows 10 on your Mac. Keep it pure, keep it clean. In a very similar way, another game I really love is Batman Arkham City. No, I haven't played Arkham Origins. No, I haven't played Arkham Knight, but I think Arkham Knight hasn't even been working well for PC users. However, Arkham City has been optimized for the Mac, and again, it is a single player game, so it can work without Wi-Fi, and it's such an expansive world. There's so many little nooks and little crevices within the map where you can find all these side quests aside just from the regular campaign story. And of course, it's Batman. Who doesn't like Batman? I think they really did a good job making the keyboard and mouse work with the I'm a bat that can crime fight but also glide and have tools and have puzzles to solve. You get a whole lot of hours of entertainment out of that game. And I've even beat it, and I'm still going through it, just discovering new things. Of course, it gets a little unrealistic at times when you're beating people incredibly hard. You're punching people like faster than possible. But hey, the bottom line is it runs on the Mac great. It's running at 2K at about 30, 40 FPS. So not quite as well, but you're looking at a very gorgeous display, and it runs very, very well. I'm very amazed at how well it can do on such a tiny device. And I'm sure that one goes on sale all the time, so please check that one out. Next, of course, who doesn't like racing games? Grid 2 is also kind of an interesting racing game because it has a career mode and an online mode, which I use the career mode, of course, because sucky internet. But this game runs at full 2K at 60 FPS easily, which I really like because the game looks beautiful, and I get that it's not ideal to have racing games with a keyboard and mouse. Well, with Grid 2, it's actually just a keyboard. But I have a lot of fun with it, and it's really cool to see like what your Mac's graphics are capable of, because things look really, really nice in Grid 2. It's not my favorite racing game though, just because it's more about like how slow can you go on turns, and I'm kind of more into the Asphalt 8 style of racing, which is like if you go off this jump, you're gonna do like 8 barrel rolls and tumble over and then magically land on your wheels. In other words, you're gonna spend half the race in the air, but nothing's wrong with Grid 2. I encourage you to check it out if it's on sale. Next is one of my favorite games of all time that is not very graphically intensive anymore, but still worth the buy and works on my Mac very well. Portal 2, and sure, you can throw in the first Portal. What I loved about Portal is actually what kind of got me interested in video games. Before Portal came out, everything felt the same. It was a different version of shooting people, and that got old very fast for me. Portal 2 is actually a puzzle game where you have to use your mind to solve different scenarios, and somehow they included a story with it. I don't know how the story is so good, but it is. You get really invested into characters in it that are just, you know, like robots, and that's it. And Portal 2 also has a really cool co-op side story that I've done and completed. That's really interesting, and I love the whole lore behind Portal. There's like a Ratman character that's in the behind the scenes. And anyway, it runs at a very high resolution, at a high frame rate, runs great on the Mac, and I encourage all of you guys to check that one out because I know for certain it will run well on there, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. You'll get many, many hours of entertainment out of it. So, okay, I guess if you have to have a first-person shooter on your Mac, the most basic one I can think of is just Counter-Strike. Global Offensive or Source, whatever you want. It's definitely one of the most popular games on Steam, and it's gonna stay there for a while. Very diverse, lots of different things things going on in that game between packs and gun skins. In terms of gameplay though, it's not anything fancy. It's just kind of, you know, here are your guns, shoot the other team. It's very basic, but it does work well on the Mac. So me and my friends all have it. We've all played it together. It's kind of like chess, you know, it's simple. Counter-Strike though, I would kind of put near the Call of Duty-ish side of things. If you want something more closer to Battlefield, I would encourage you to get Insurgency, which kind of feels like a Counter-Strike extension, except there's a lot more you can do with it. It's actually a bit more realistic because, you know, you can crawl, you can crouch, you can look down the sights. I don't play a lot of Insurgency because it's actually really hard. It's kind of where the Counter-Strike pro players go. Believe it or not, I'm not very good at gaming, so Counter-Strike's more my level. But if for some reason you're an MLG type of guy with a MacBook Pro, Insurgency will probably fare you better because it's much more of a challenge. So it's a short list, but it's what I got. Everyone knows, yes, you do not have to tell me the MacBook Pro is not good for gaming. That is not the purpose of this video. My purpose is, if you're a MacBook Pro owner and you want to get into a few games, light games, as long as you're treading light, those are the ones I would recommend. They're fun, they run well, and you gotta count your blessings with what games can run on a Mac. So there are my answers. What games do you like to run on Mac? Let me know below, and please don't ask me to bootcamp Windows 10 and try Battlefield 4 or 1 or Overwatch or no. I'm not putting Windows 10 on it for that purpose. I would never use it. I know it sounded like I talked mostly about gaming on here, and that's because I did, but if you are interested in more gamer talk, head over to Tailosive Gaming. We do live streams every Monday and Thursday. My co-star Wyatt actually has a gaming PC that we can play all those real games on, and there we'd love to talk video games with you because he's more of a gamer than I am for sure. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.